Of course you're not. Anyway, all right. So should be live and all this stuff. Bow, 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 bow. Right. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. So, as I was saying, I wasn't that happy during the process because I don't know, it was like too many colors for me, I think. But at the end, I liked how it turned out. This is the image I used. Wrong one. This is the image I used. Yeah, I cannot do the same thing as I did before with this viewer, but yeah. So yeah, it's an interpretation. Like I just have three colors, so I was trying to get kind of the same vibe, but with my own thing in mind. So yeah, that's what I got from that. Today just felt like I really uh, like gorillas in general. I feel they're super they're like they just doing their own thing in the jungle, and yeah, as long as nobody bothers them, they don't go out in rampage against anyone. So I like that about gorillas, uh, and for the most part, as far as I know, I'm not a gorilla expert, but I'm a huge nerd, and I used to watch Animal Planet and Discovery Channel all the time. Uh, so mainly the silverback was the one that, or is the one that is supposed to take care of the group. So if there's gonna be an aggressive gorilla, it would be the silverback. So it's like the main male of the group. The other ones are just chilling, doing their own things. And I guess when they grow up, if you have another male, maybe that's when some issues arise. But for the most part, it's just him protecting the group, as far as I know. So yeah, I just wanted to draw a gorilla. Also, they're endangered. Yeah, I guess everything we can, we decimate or try to decimate. So I was thinking about those things. So let's see. This should be working. And I didn't check. What I was going to do was check for sound, but it seems like, let's see. Alright, cool. There's sound. Alright, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. I'm going to see how far I can get this. We'll see. Uh, so if this is the first time of you watching one of my streams, I just try to draw something different each time. Lately, I've been doing like one drawing every 2 days, so I work on it the first day and then work on it the second day. But usually I draw one one thing a day. I used to do it like every single day, but yeah, it was like too much, and Yeah, I was getting all sorts of questioning on my end. Huh? Probably, but this is not for that, so yeah. Uh, just start with that. If I want to do this. Yeah. Usually I start by framing the subject onto a page, and you'll see what I mean. I try to, because I'm using a pen, I try to focus on the big picture. That's usually a good idea. So you want to block out the subject. So this would be referring to the head, right? And let's see. Yes, this would be the leg here, the front arm, rather. It'll be the right arm. Yeah, I think it's the right arm, unless this is flipped, in which case it will be the left. Anyway, and probably his hip would be like around there, and you have a strong line. Like I like this picture because it has a really nice silhouette to it. Uh, it's not easy to take pictures of animals. Junho. So this picture I think was taken by Junho or Yunho. I don't know. Apologies if I'm butchering it, but you can find it on Unsplash if you want to check it out. It's there. Um, so you got this line here. I have to be careful because sometimes I think I'm measuring something right and I can be wrong. So you have to be mindful of that, and that's also something to keep in mind if you're gonna draw with a pen. You all the lines that you put on the page, you have to think about them. Uh, Often with pencil, you tend to like just go over the line, over, and you get this sort of. You can see when somebody's drawing and it's not that experienced because they do that just to define a shape that should be like a straight, like a just a line. Like here, you could argue that I was also warming up the pen, so and I can also make mistakes, but for the most part, you wanna try to do confident strokes. So you see, they has sort of. Hi Taylor, how are you? Right, so you have all good overall, I think. Good to hear. Alright, let's see. So, as I was saying, you want to focus on the overall shape and then go for the details. Eh, all good. I believe. I'd say. All right. How long have been like for the stream? What do you mean? How long have I been streaming? You mean right now or in general? Um, Now it's like I've been here for like 10 minutes, I think. It started 20 minutes ago, but yeah, I do like a pre-roll, so, or sometimes I do it, not always. Uh, so this should go here, I think. Which type of games? It depends. I haven't been like a full player for a long time. um, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. I don't know. I used to play a lot of video games back in the day. I'm originally from Venezuela. Red Dead is really good, and GTA is also good. Not really. I'm an illustrator and CG artist. Uh, Even though I've been trying to monetize this thing, but I'm not. I'm really not. So this is like, I don't know, something I sport for fun, part to follow what I like. Yeah, you certainly can. Oh, cool. Uh, you can check out on my website. You can find my contact. Um, I think I let's see. Yeah. Um, and also my YouTube channel. You can find my contact email. Um, but yeah. Uh, Kinda, not really. I've been setting it up, but I don't particularly have like a full Discord. Insta, yeah, for sure. Segrons, yeah, just find me at Segrons. Visual Blend LLC. What do you mean? What on Discord? Like I don't really use it. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram if you want. think that the hand is a little bit longer here. Something like that, maybe? Yeah. Oh, look at that. I don't know if the contrast is... see the camera starts acting up. Properties, configure video. Oh my god, why do you reset? Why do you reset? And you, of course you did. Okay, I'll modify this. Yeah, I don't do follow back that like that. I can check out your stuff if you share it. You can kind of see it well, I think. All right, I think. All right, let's just. So let's see if I can send you. That's my email. That should be the email. Here. That's my email. The email I use for like social media stuff. So yeah, you wanna send your stuff over, you can do it that way, or after I'll check on Insta. And all right, all right. It's a cool silhouette. I think maybe this measurement is a little bit off. I think that's what I'm thinking. Could be wrong. So this goes like that. I have that strong line right there, and then the foot falls down. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. See, I think I measured this wrong. Probably, quite probably. Still gonna try to get it the best I can because this. Well, maybe not. It's really nice. Like the foot is. You can see. You can notice kind of the movement. And I probably measured that wrong. Huh. Yeah, I'll check it out when I have the chance. Likewise. Uh, Say like this is bulkier. Uh, you have this. It's over here. Oh my god. So maybe this instrument is not like, I think, yeah, it's more like that. That's on me. Now I don't know what to do about that, but it's okay. I'll leave it. And like you have the eyes should go right there. This is a little bit off. Have this. Let me just do this part. Okay. I think that's okay for now. I like kind of the shape of the shadows. Has some really cool contrast to it. You can do a lot in a drawing just by focusing on the shadows. There's like you can actually draw just by using that as your main thing, your main focus, and you can get some really good results. sort of this box here for the ear. To find this area. Also this part right here. I like this picture. It's really nice. Uh, maybe like 10, 10x. Cool. I find it interesting that I didn't know that this thing, like ink from a pen, would take like a week to dry. I didn't know that. That's an interesting thing that Stephanie mentioned the other day. I was like, really? Yeah, I didn't know that. I think that's interesting. I thought it would dry like in a day or something. a couple hours because it's really like greasy and harsh. I could do this all day. Often I don't have the chance to do this stuff. At least lately. I used to do this all the time. All the time. This was my escape from things. From I guess my own reality. But yeah. It's fulfilling once you start to learn actually how to do this stuff. In the beginning you're like, oh, I wonder if I can pull it off. But then after years and years and years, I'm like, oh, I can. But also it's important to keep yourself in check because you can always get a bad drawing. It's not it's not impossible. There's always that possibility. So so far I like what I have going on for this guy, this fellow right here. Bum, 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 bum. I don't know if whoever's watching this or what is watching this in the future uh, knows about uh, the Tarzan movie from Disney, but the artists that worked on that movie are freaking amazing. That thing is a majestic part of animation history. So creative too, because they mixed in some moves from skateboarding with the way that Tarzan moves through the jungle, and the way they did it was incredible. At least it was really impressive, mixing in 3D with 2D, and I believe if I remember correctly, they did like they first did a pass with the like an animatic, just fully animated kind of the sequence. Then they made the 3D trajectory of what the character was going to do for at least for the first few shots that they tried this out, and then they cleaned up the animation. It's really impressive. Now it's like there's a lot of studios that do that kind of thing, But yeah, there's some really interesting techniques that they used back in the day because you didn't have that many options either. Computers were starting to become a thing, but they weren't a thing fully. So yeah, if you're into animation, and also the level of anatomy drawings that they did for that film, um, the hands. I could be mistaken, but I believe the one of the main artists was the same one that worked on. I think it probably was two of them that worked on the Beauty and the Beast. Um, I don't want to get that wrong, but you can fact check me on that. And freaking masters of animation. And yeah, I think we we kind of went the wrong way with just focusing animation in fully 3D stuff for years and years and years to come. Uh, yes, it's faster, uh, but like it doesn't have the same feel. It's never gonna be the same as traditional animation. Um, the level of control you have over what you do is way different than what you can do. Maybe now with all the mocap, but still, it's not gonna. I don't know. Now they want to take over everything with AI. Uh, I believe that's BS. And I wonder who they're gonna call when freaking AI mixes stuff up or messes something up. And they have to deliver it the next day for a client. I don't want to be in that meeting. Most definitely. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. This is my kind of drawing. I prefer doing this sort of thing than some of the other stuff I do. Hi, Stephanie. All good. Uh, kind of hanging out here. Rather, hanging on here. um, yeah, a little bit tired as usual, but that's kind of like I joke. There's two things I joke with about this with my wife. One being that I'm like, like Hulk says a line. Well, Bruce Banner says a line that his trick is that he's always angry. So I guess one of my tricks is that I'm baseline always a little bit angry at something. But at the same time, like one of my other tricks is that I'm always tired. So basically, I'm always tired. There's a like the place where my ancestors are from. They're really famous for kind of being super chill. Yeah, angry, tired, basically. Yeah, yeah. People sometimes mistake me from for like, oh, he's so peaceful. Yeah, I think you're misreading certain things. I feel I'm super chilled overall, but yeah, I also I'm a grumpy person as well. So, maybe that's a mistake. That was a mistake. Let's see if I can fix it. Well, that's better. Eh, a bunch of things make me grumpy. Like it's like my I have an aunt that always makes joke or used to make jokes about it. And like the um, Snow White uh, dude, like grumpy, basically. Well, that's not exactly what she says. Like she used to say like mumble or something like that. Like when you're like grumpily or you're doing something and you're like just that sort of thing. So she used to say that like ever since she knows me, I've been like that. Like since a kid. I don't know if a baby, but at least ever since I was a kid, I've been like this. But yeah, yeah. I think I would have to get into more stuff to explain, but I think I also have my reasons. Anyway, uh, I mentioned I argue this. Shocker, right? I argue that uh, not once have I been upset or angry for something without a reason. Like I always have a reason for it. It's not like I just want to be angry. It's not like that. Most of the time, the other thing is the same way I mentioned that I can be baseline angry for something. I also let it go. I worked a lot in just letting it go quickly. Eh, just like whatever, that sort of thing. Uh, and it has definitely helped me. Even though sometimes what happens is that you you get angry again, so to speak, if it makes sense. I yeah, I don't recommend uh, being angry, but I don't know. Maybe there's something to it because a lot of the times I've been able to do things uh, just by pure anger and I don't know, uh, stubbornness, basically. Like, oh, you think I cannot do this? Okay, I'll show you. And maybe that's not the healthiest thing to do, but it definitely has helped me accomplish certain things that I didn't even think I was able to do. So I don't know. So the other part that I was talking about being tired all the time, that's yeah, ever since I started to study illustration, you're basically once you really got into the career, you're basically tired 24/7 because there's like you have like let's say you have seven courses, eight courses. I think I had like 12 courses. Each one of them, they had an assignment each week, and you would have to present that assignment. Uh, like, sometimes it's week to week. Sometimes they would give you, if they're being benevolent towards you, they would give you 2 weeks if you're lucky. But a lot of the times, the turnaround would be a week. So yeah, you can imagine. It meant a lot of the times not sleeping. And I guess the ones that are more organized get to sleep more because yeah, they I don't know, they plan in advance every single detail of what they're gonna do, and I don't know, they have it. Okay, I have a a friend of mine that started the career with me. Uh, she then after went for a different uh, specialty, but uh, we we were the if I remember correctly, we were the only ones that started and finished the career during the time frame that you should. The other ones basically dropped out or repeated uh, 1 year or took a year off, that sort of thing, because it was like uh, a marathon, a 3 year marathon the entire time. Uh, so ever since that time, I've been tired, and that was I graduated in 2009. So you can do the math on that. Yeah, before that, I was, I guess, young and stupid. Now I'm just stupid. So uh, I, like, when you're young, you're partying, and you think, oh yeah, no worries, an all nighter, sure. Now you tell me something is gonna be after 9 p.m. and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I have to wake up tomorrow. If we're doing this uh, after 9 p.m., then when am I going to be back home? When am I gonna be in my bed. So yeah, I looking back at it, I would definitely sleep way more. And I having said this, I've been the kind of person that okay, grandpa, yeah, exactly. It's like, in my day, you have no idea. Uh, yeah, yeah, 9 p.m. I'm like, oh my baby woke up. It makes me so sad when I hear her cry. Um, because I know she's like getting used to the world basically. Everything is new for her. So I can only imagine. Like we all go through it. Like this, it's a part of life that you have to go through, learning and experiencing the world. But now I'm starting to understand my parents. Oh, you heard her? Yeah, she. Thing is that we've been trying to put her on her crib, but it's hard for them to. I tend to do this so much. Like this gorilla has kind of a way softer misdemeanor, and I'm putting sort of this grumpy face. uh, yeah, so we've been trying to put her to bed on her crib, but I guess they don't really like that because they I get it. They're new to everything, and then all of a sudden you're in your own in the middle of the dark. You wake up and you're freaking out. I get it. It makes sense. Like it's more than reasonable. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, about sleeping. That when I was in high school and starting university, I I believe I enjoyed sleeping quite a bit because in like before high school, I was like this freaking horrible. Like every day, our school schools overall start at 7 a.m. And usually, wherever I was studying, it was really far away from where I lived. And oh my god, it was always so grueling waking up. Like the sun is not even up, and I have to be up and take a shower, and like before the sun comes up. Oh my god. Thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, this one I like. This is my jam. I enjoy drawing animals and gorillas. I feel they're freaking awesome. I guess like it. I'll use their music for the real. Um, what I was saying? Oh, about sleeping and waking up early in the morning. Yeah, I I'm having a hard time considering having to do that for my daughter. Like I don't want her to go through that. Like I know it's freaking torture, and I know that we all go through it regardless because once you start working, then you have to be at work at whatever time it's needed. I get that, but before, like when you're a kid, do you really need to be doing that? Come on, man. You're I saw somebody talking about it. Like you get kids to school like at 7 a.m. and you can see, like, if you track their performance, they're gonna perform worse than kids that study later in the day. Like your brain is basically off at that time. You're like, what? Where am I? What are we doing? A test? Okay, sure. And like you just, it's like doing basic training or something. Like, come on, get up, go, 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 dude, chill. Really, this didn't. I love this. Why did you discontinue my live stream? Go live. Yeah. Stop doing that, please. I would appreciate you not doing that. Alright. No, I don't think it helps kids that much. At least when you're really small. Like I get like high school. Once you get to high school, you gotta start developing your capacity for that sort of thing. And right now it's way more chill than before. But well, I'm from South America, so yeah, I had to like there. I used to sometimes I would have to go to school all the way across. Like my mom would have to go to work, so I would have to be at school like you start at 7, so we would have to wake up like at 4 a.m. So by at 5 we would be already on our way, and like you have to get food, get ready, and get going, and because sometimes traffic can be awful at that time, so you have to account for that. I'm having, yeah, I'm having uh, anxiety thinking about it. Like, just ugh. So yeah, and Imagine that for years and years and years and years. I get it like once you get to high school, and I was lucky enough to actually get the opposite because I was like I'm not going to continue to do this. So I'm changing schools, or I'm not gonna go to school anymore. Like there were other things happening too, but I was like, no, thank you. I'm done with this. So by the time I got to high school, I switched to a school that was started in the afternoon, like at 12 started, something like that, or 11. I don't remember, but it wasn't. It was like the term was in the afternoon, so that was freaking awesome. Like waking up that early to go to school, you cannot function properly. Let alone pay attention to whatever a teacher is telling you. Like I don't know what you're saying. I don't remember what my teacher said. I don't remember any of it. No. Maybe in the US, I have no idea. But in South America, you have to go to school. You have to go. It's like a whole thing. Like, oh, you don't want to go to school? We're gonna have an issue. And yeah, you better go to school. Uh, but yeah, to answer your question, Stephanie, when I was like 100% on work every day, I was doing sometimes even weekends, but Monday to Friday it was the average was 12 to 16-hour days, and yeah, that wasn't unusual for me. So it wasn't like that every day, but a lot of the time it was really grueling. So I kind of also got tired of that. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep doing this forever. So yeah, now I get projects more sporadically, and yeah, it's not the same money for sure, um, but like my mental health appreciate it appreciates it. Oh yeah, sorry. Maybe you don't notice, but yeah, yeah, I am. I'm in quite a few actually. So yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and TikTok. And so yeah, people sometimes type from different platforms, and it should appear on screen, but it also disappears after a few seconds. Yeah, no worries. Appreciate it. So I forgot what I was saying about the. So yeah, it wasn't uncommon for me to do 12 to 16-hour days, and yeah, it's not uncommon for anyone like in visual effects. Ah, in visual effects, yeah. 12-hour days are like that's that's a Friday. That's a chill day. Um, let me just be fair here. There are studios that you do 9 to 5. Let's just say that. Having said this, you can look up the statistics of what I'm saying, and I guess I'm not. Yeah, I haven't been in a studio in some time, but yeah, it's not uncommon uh, to do a bunch of hours. Sometimes they do multiple shifts to when they ramp up production. So yeah, not that period is not it's not that fun. I gotta say, doing like uh, rotation um, schedules, because yeah, sometimes it can be, let's say, so it was like the time that I worked on a studio. I think it was 3 shifts. I remember something like that. Yeah. Anyway, it's you can look up the statistics about that, and there's a lot of information has come out about the hours in visual effects and 3D animation and animation in general. There are really good studios out there, I'll say that, and you can they do 9 to 5 and they take good care of their artists. But I guess sometimes it's kind of a, I don't know, it can feel like it's a part of the entire industry, the overtime and trying to finish the work. So yeah. So that's kind of why I'm always tired. I have, I guess, as I was saying, the place where my ancestors are from, they're famous for, or they attach like they are supposed to be. The right word is not lazy. It's more like they take things with calm, and they do things on their own time type of thing. So that's really attached to El Llano, to the plains, and that's where my ancestors are from. Humble? No, no, no. The word isn't humble. Um, Even though I would like to believe that I am. Uh, what is going on here? Oh, okay. I thought that that was weird. Okay, never mind. Um, it's not. What is it? I'm trying to get to the right word, but I cannot find it. Kind of peaceful. They take everything with ease. They do it on their own time. But it's a peaceful doesn't fit either, because at the same time in Spanish it is uh, calmados, or laid back could be kind of the idea. You know, this is yeah. I have an anecdote about this, but you know, in there's this mouse cartoon, the mouse cartoon, Mexican cartoon, the Speedy Gonzales. There's Speedy Gonzales, right? That he's always like yeppa yeppa yeppa, hey hey hey, and it's always moving back and forth like on speed or something. Well, there he has a friend that is like slow something. I don't know. It's like his cousin or something like that. the the episode where he appears, I love that that episode because it is kind of what I'm talking about. Like he's super chill. He does everything with ease. He takes his time. And Speedy Gonzalez is like, "You have to hurry. They're gonna eat you. The cats are gonna eat you." And he doesn't. He just walks everywhere. He's all chilled and stuff. Slowpoke Rodriguez. I didn't remember the name, but yeah, it's imagine that across an entire population. Yeah, that's that describes it well because actually, uh, those were the ones they supported. They were part of the army that liberated my country way back when with Bolivar. So even though they're super like chill, at the same time, yeah, they have the other side to them. Uh, like the reason he was chill is because like whenever a cat was trying something with against him, he would just pull his defense mechanism and just continue with his day. So yeah, you can look up what I'm mentioning, but los llaneros, people from the plains, they helped uh, during the independence war in my country, and they were a really important part of the army that helped with that. And there's a lot of anecdotes, there are jokes about it because yeah, it, we're funny people. Like my grandfather was the most chill guy I've known. Like he would take his time doing whatever he needed to. Like I guess another another similar thing. It would be like in Zootopia, the sloth is like I think it was like Ray. No, I don't remember the name. But he would like you tell him a joke and he would like that type of thing. But at the same time, he was the one who was driving a car like the fastest throughout the entire thing. So yeah, I can I I can fully relate to that sort of thing because of my heritage. But yeah, there's even a comedian that has a joke about it. Uh, so it's a really well-known thing about people from where my uh, grandparents were from, and also I don't know. I guess I now looking back, I'm like, yeah, they knew they both passed away, and I was missing them the other day. Um, it was kind of a complicated. I, I I got along really well with them, but we weren't as close as I was with my other grandparents, my mother's grandparents. That's on my father's side. Uh, but because they weren't from a city originally. They have a different way of living, and I think now at at this day and age, I think they're right. They were right to live the way they did, and I think actually living in the city made their lives shorter. I can definitely argue that, and it saddens me. Having said all that, they were the kind of people that would wake up at 5 a.m., but they would wake up at whatever time they had to just to work the land, their land. Uh, Not like giant acres, but they had their house with a large yard, and there were some terrains to the back, like I think it was like a piece of a terrain. So they would clean that up and have their fruit and vegetables and all sorts of trees that they would take care of every day. My grandfather used to. That was freaking awesome. He was friends with it's not exactly a hawk. It's like we call it a gavilan. You know I think it's in Toon Looney Tunes that there's this giant bird. I'm trying to remember the name. He was like ho ho ho, and no, not the Road Runner. No, there was a cartoon about a large, gigantic chicken, and he lived on a farm. Uh, yeah. No, that I don't remember that's part of the cartoon. But he lived on a farm, and there was this small bird. Like he would always say, like my mom sent me to get to catch a bird, so I'm gonna take you with me. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not gonna take me. And and the small bird would take out a mallet and just maybe I don't know the name in English at all. But that little bird, that hasn't. I don't remember the name, but they go against chickens in farms. So my granddad, people like it would be something that you would have to see it to believe it. But he was friends with one of those birds, and he would go into the woods and look for it and say hi to it, and he would give give the bird food, and he had a name for it. He would call her, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, this is some Ace Ventura stuff. And he was always like that with animals, and I think it's a thing of the lifestyle. So imagine somebody like that all of a sudden, or after years and years of living like that, you get pulled out of that and start living in a city apartment. It's like your life changes drastically. I don't know. I have so many fond memories of going to that house because yeah, it was like basically a version of a farm life in a way. Even though it was near a city, it was far enough from the city that yeah, you the only cars that would get there would be that you're going to visit one of those houses. Yeah, it's one of those chicken hawks. We call them gavilan. That's what I mentioned earlier. Gavilanes. Yeah, they're brown and they hunt chickens. They hunt anything they can get their hands on, but they're really common in that uh, environment. But I found it fascinating that he was friends with that and with that creature, and sometimes he would go off into the woods and you wouldn't hear from him for hours because he was just walking in the woods, just uh, I don't know. I think he like talked to creatures in there. I don't know. Like what I just mentioned about him, that was the one time or the very few times that I went with him because I was still kind of small at the time. Maybe 10 or 7, I don't know, something like that. So I wouldn't have gone. Like it's not the place for a kid to go into those woods because there's snakes in that thing. There's a lot of snakes in that place because it's where they used to live. It is a mountain, so uh, yeah, that's what I just mentioned is kind of like a core memory, and it's also really funny to me that the one thing I don't share with I never got into that sort of thing is that they would eat the weirdest things ever. I was like, what the heck? Like you walk into their kitchen and I was like, I don't know, like a jar with something boiling in it that looked grayish, like this sort of meat that nobody knows what it is. Because the thing is, the place where they're from, it's it's plains, but at the same time, it's also kind of wild. So people there, like you eat stuff basically from the jungle, from like they would get used to eating all sorts of different things, uh, like caima, a version of a crocodile. Um, I don't like to say it, but capybaras. It's like a thing that people do in those areas. Um, and natives, I don't know if where they are from, they would encounter natives, but some natives in the jungle, not on the place where my grandparents are from, they eat monkey, they eat tarantulas, um, uh, ants, like giant ants. That's something that's really common uh, outside of the main cities in Venezuela. We have like a. I actually put it on my deck of cards because that's also kind of a core memory of mine. Uh, yeah, exactly. And people in those kind of areas, as you're saying, they have a different understanding on of that sort of thing. So what I was saying is that we have a spice that is made out of ants, and yeah, and you put it on food, and I think I've seen it, but I don't remember if I tried it because it's kind of freakish, and if you're not used to it, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want that. I was raised uh, kind of in the city, and going back and forth to my grandparents' house. So yeah, I believe that's why I have an appreciation for nature. That's why am fascinated by it, and why I like this sort of thing. I really feel we need to take care of it the best we can, and do the best we can to to leave enough for future generations. Well, I'm way past the 1 hour mark. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to sleep. So, uh, if you watch the stream, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I'll be cutting the stream soon. If you haven't, consider subscribing and hitting that bell and all that good stuff. It helps me a bunch. If you want to support me, you can find some of the stuff I do, like my deck of cards on my website, or my Redbubble shop, which you can find also through my website, or you can look me up. I think I have it on my YouTube channel and Instagram and so on and so forth. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. Today is Wednesday, so Thursday tomorrow. So two more streams to go. Um, yeah, let me look for my music, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Bye.